Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Shrikant here again, of course from InfyOne. If you're watching this video, then you are no doubt interested in understanding what is our SEO process. So I've been asked this question a lot and stupidly I never made a video about it. So here I am today to prompt you about our SEO process, and I decided that I would very briefly or comprehensively as best as I can take you through what our actual SEO process entails. So park your bum, grab a cup of coffee, you're about to get extremely entertained. Anyway, so ultimately there are 7 steps to the process, but the end goal of anything that we do as part of our SEO process is it has to help you and your company grow, right? Whether that means revenue growth, email signups, brand exposure, whatever it might be. We want to help you get in the direction or drive your business in the direction that you are intended to go. That's the reason that you're looking at this video and potentially reach out to me personally or to one of the team. So the first step of our SEO process will be opportunity discovery. For example, a keyword perspective might make sense to your business looking at the region, the demographic that you are targeting, looking at the different types of keywords like top of the level versus top of the funnel versus mid funnel versus bottom of the funnel. Are people making informational searches or people are making transactional searches? What are the relevant search volumes and what are the actual keywords that make sense to your business? Does SEO even make sense for your business, right? And it's not always a yes. Some people we do recommend looking at alternate strategies, but that is a first key part of what we are doing is opportunity discovery. So the second part of our SEO process will be technical setup. We then move on to some of the technical setup. So that means looking at HTML code cleanup. It looks at your XML sitemaps, looking at the various submissions, looking at your kind of page tags, internal link structuring, conical tags, category setups, and all of the things that ultimately will make sure as we go on looking accelerated mobile pages on all of these elements, schema markup, to ensure that as we grow, we have got one of the technical elements basically set an alliance over the gods. Be it Bing, Google, Yandex, Rover, is that we are looking at ranking. Ultimately looking at your site and can read and see everything perfectly. From the image alt tags to the title tags to the meta tags and all of these kind of things, we want to start as we need to go on. So that's part 2. So the third step of our SEO process will be content strategy. This is looking at guest posts, blog posts, skyscraper content, how often content is coming out, making sure that there's no level of duplication but rather syndication. And again, content strategy of course is the critical component of that. So we might be doing that turnkey for you. You might be doing that all by yourself, and we'll either advise and or implement upon that process. So that is part 3. So the fourth step of our SEO process will be link acquisition. So link acquisition, what does that actually mean? It sounds like a little bit of a dirty word, doesn't it? And really it ultimately means about an article submissions, directory submissions, different levels of submissions that you can post out, as well as looking at syndication on the social media networks, in ultimately the hopes of one, listing on the relevant directories that are relevant to your industry, 2, listing on directories that are relevant from a general business perspective. We are talking about Foursquare, we are talking about Yelp, we are talking about like Bing, Yahoo, Google Maps, Apple Maps, whatever it might be. And then we are also looking at releasing stuff via social bookmarks in the hope and in the expectation that some stage you are producing, and if we are producing skyscraper content or content that is of sufficient quality, then it will get picked up and you will begin then acquiring links from various sites, whether that be socially or on other blog posts. So that is what it actually means by link acquisition. So the fifth step of our SEO process will be social strategy. Social strategy is critical to what we are doing, so we are looking at, your social setups. One of the social signals that we are sending out is content being spread out across your social media. How is your Google local business and your Google Plus page set up? Because Google allows Google owned products. Google owns YouTube, Google Plus, and your business pages. Of course, super important. Social strategy, reputation management. See, you all, your clients will be looking for trusted vendor online. This is step number 5. So the sixth step of our SEO process will be local SEO. If you think about some of the keywords, essentially you're thinking of ranking depending upon what your business does. Whether it's B2B or B2C, it may be wanting to rank for local based searches. It would be like Denver, New York, Chicago. Okay, cool, we get the idea, right? But looking what we can do from a local search perspective, looking at local business directory, looking at your Google page businesses, Google Map Pack, all of these elements ultimately related to optimizing your business or a page or a specific item that you release for local search. So that is part 6. So the final step of our SEO process will be performance tracking. That's about traffic. Google Analytics to look at to know whether traffic is beginning to increase month on month. Initially, in the initial stages, it's about moving your keyword rankings from page 10 to page 9 to page 1 ultimately. You are listed in search, which is search engine ranking. If you are not in the top 100, getting you on the top 100 will be the first step, eventually getting you on the first page of Google. All of these elements relate to ultimately performance tracking, beginning with keywords ranking, then looking that actual traffic flows in and looking at other elements of them. We will take care of it by looking at Google Search Console, and we look at basically providing you a report that happens every 2 weeks, the activity at the end of the month performance report. So in 7 steps: opportunity discovery, technical setup, content strategy, link acquisition, social strategy, local search, as well as performance tracking. That's all about our SEO process.